Hi everyone, this is Greg Ilg with Renesas Electronics America, and today I'll be demonstrating the code generator for the Renesas RX family of MCUs. I am beginning with E2 Studio already open and in an empty workspace. E2 Studio is our Eclipse-based IDE. To create a new project, I go to File, New, C Project. And today I'll be working with an RX-113, so I'm going to name my project RX-113 underbar CG for code generator. I will also be making use of the Renesas tool suite, so I will select RxC toolchain and click Next. For debug hardware, I have an E1 emulator. Now your RSK may have come with an E1 or an E2 Lite. Just select whichever you have available. For the target device, I am interested in the 100-pin 8AX FP. This is the MCU present on the RX-113 RSK board. So I will select that, then click Next. On this page, I want to select both the radio button and the checkbox for the peripheral code generator. Then click Finish. A summary dialog will appear, which I just click OK. When you expand the project, you will see a source directory, and these are filled with a number of temporary files. This is in case you are working with bare metal. These files will set up your stack and your vector table, so you can write a simple program to validate your hardware, like flashing an LED. When you are ready to generate code for a peripheral, these temporary files will be removed from a build. Today, we're going to go directly to generating code for peripherals. To do that, I go to the Code Generator folder and expand the Peripheral Function subfolder. Here you will see a list of all the peripherals available on this MCU. I want to begin by configuring the clock generator circuit, so I will double-click on that. The dialog will have all the defaults set to the RSK board. For example, using an RX-113 RSK, that has an external oscillator running at 16 MHz. But I am interested in running in higher speeds, so I'm going to enable the PLL circuit. With these settings, I have doubled my speed to 32 MHz. I am also going to disable the LOCO, or the low speed oscillator. This is typically enabled for low power applications. As for the other clocks, I would like them to run at higher speeds as well, so I shall also enable the PLL circuit here. Now my system I clock, peripheral clock B, peripheral clock D, and flash clock are all running at 32 MHz. Next, I want to configure the serial communications interface, so I will double-click on that peripheral. Here, a tab appears for every channel available on the MCU. I am interested in SCI Channel 1. This is the channel brought out to the USB serial port on the RSK. And I want it to run in asynchronous mode, which is UART mode. And I'm going to configure it for transmit only. I could have just as well made it for receive or transmit and receive, but in today's demonstration I'm just going to send a simple message. I'm also going to make use of port 1, pin 6 for the transmit pin. The MCU supports all 4 of these pins, but the RSK makes use of this one. Going to the Settings tab, I'm going to leave things at 8 data bits, no parity, 1 stop, and 9600 baud. If I wanted to increase the baud rate, I would simply choose one from the drop-down menu. But I am not limited to these choices. These are just some default values based upon our clock settings. I could have just as easily typed in baud rate 1234. And I could see I would have that baud rate within 0.2% of an actual 1234 bits per second. But I'm going to stick with the classic 9600 baud. Now that I have configured my serial communications interface and the clocks, I'm ready to generate code. So I will click on the Generate Code button. Returning to my project, I can see that all the temporary files are now grayed out. This means they will not be included in the build. And a new directory appears called cg_source. What I am interested in first is looking at the sci.h file. At the end of the file, I will find the API for this driver. Now all CodeGenerator drivers will have a create and a start function. The create function you never have to add to your code because it will be done for you as part of system startup. To verify this, I will do a search. Here I can see that the function is called in the file hardwaresetup.c. Double-clicking on that takes me directly to the function call, and I can see that it is called as part of the system init function. Returning to sci.h, I go to the next prototype, which is the start function. Now this function you will have to add to your code yourself. This is because you may be running several peripherals and you may want them to start up in a particular order. I'm going to go to the main function, scroll down a little bit, and type in the value here. Notice that there is a start user code and end user code comment. Everything you write should fall between these comments. This is because in the future, if you want to change a configurator setting or add another peripheral, when you generate code, everything between these comments will be preserved and everything outside of them will be overwritten. I'm now going to return to sci.h, and I want to send out a simple message, so I'm going to copy the send prototype. I'm going to paste that in my main function, and I want to create a variable for the return value, and I'm going to call that error. And I'm going to make this variable a global variable. It doesn't have to be a global variable, I just want to show that the start and end user code appears in multiple places in these drivers. Next, I want to set up my send buffer. Instead of creating an actual buffer, I'm just going to hardcode in a simple message, hello world. And for the number of bytes to send, I want to send 11. I remember that there are 11 bytes in hello world because the double L reminds me of the number 11. I'm going to hit Control S to save the project, go to the project name, right-click, and select Build Project. I could have just as easily gone to the hammer icon and pressed that to perform a build. Now that I have built the project, I'm ready to download it. But before doing this, we must connect the RSK to the laptop. To do this, we want to make two connections, one for the emulator and one for the USB serial port. For the USB serial port, you want to connect your cable to the USB connector to the right of the power jack on the board. Please pause your video to do this now. Once you have completed the connections, you are ready to download. You can do this by right-clicking on the project name, going to Debug As, Hardware Debugging. You could have also gone to the bug icon and clicked on that to debug. When prompted for the debug perspective, select Yes. This perspective opens additional windows so you can view contents of variable, see the call stack, and have access to other debug capabilities. Now before we run this program, we want to have a terminal program running on our laptop to receive the message. For this, I'm going to use Teraterm. Here, I want to select the serial communications and select the RSK USB serial port driver. Now you may have on your system a Seger CDC driver, which will also work. But if you have neither one of these, you will need to download a driver from the web. For this, you want to go to www.renesas.com. Do a search on RSK USB serial driver. When the search completes, scroll down to this entry. Click on this to download, then follow the instructions to install the driver. After you have installed the driver, reopen Teraterm and select that serial port and click OK. You can go to the Setup menu and look at the serial port to see how its driver is configured. And as you can see, it matches ours by default, specifically 9600 baud 8 data bits, no parity, and 1 stop bit. So I'll just click OK. I'll now return to E2 Studio. I will go to the play icon, which means run. Clicking it once will take me to the start of main. Clicking it again will run the rest of the program. Returning to TerraTerm, I can see that I have sent out the message, Hello World. So now in about 10 minutes, we have created a project, configured our clocks, configured a serial port driver, generated code, wrote a simple application, built it, downloaded, ran it, and verified that it works. Again, all in about 10 minutes. For additional information, please see www.renesas.com. Thank you.